We're in peak selling season for LEGO investors. Typically around this time of year, we see prices rise in value due to the increased demand from people buying LEGO sets as gifts for Christmas or other holidays. I've been monitoring the price of a lot of sets that retired last year to see how they're doing in the aftermarket. I've noticed some sets are underperforming the expectations that either I had or the LEGO investing community had. So in this video, I'm going to cover 10 sets that stood out to me as underperforming sets for one reason or another. Two things to note before we get started. The first is that the biggest factor in what makes a LEGO set a good investment is what price point you bought it at. So if you bought any of these sets at 60% off or more, they're of course going to be good investments for you. I'm basing these off of what you reasonably could have bought the set for. The second thing is that I sell on eBay, so I'm going to be using eBay prices for comparison. If you sell on Amazon, those prices may be a little bit higher. Alright, the first set I'm going to start with is Darth Vader Meditation Chamber, set number 75296. This set had an MSRP of $70, and right now on eBay it's going for around $75. So this set was a Walmart exclusive, shorter shelf life. It was never discounted throughout its life except for once, right before it retired, to $50. I thought it would go really well with the official diorama line, but it's not technically branded as a diorama. It came out before those other dioramas that are retiring this year. And I think because of that, a lot of people have forgotten about this set. There were also some complaints about its design and its functionality, but I really thought the set could overcome those flaws. It reminds me of the Tantive 5, set number 75244, that retired a few years back. It was a very large ship, but it wasn't technically a UCS branded ship, and it's done very poorly. A lot of people expected that set to do well, thinking people would place it alongside their UCS sets, but because it wasn't branded UCS, that really impacted its value. So it seems like this set is having a similar response with it not being branded an official diorama. I personally have 7 of these. You can see some of them right here. I do not expect to be able to double my money within the next year, so I'm going to be letting these sets go for a much smaller profit than I expected. I could wait another year or two, but by the way it's performing right now, I don't expect it to have a very significant jump in price to make it worth it for me to hang on to it. My money would be put to use better buying other sets that would make me more money over time than this set would. The second set I want to cover is 123 Sesame Street, set number 21324. This set had an MSRP of $120, and currently on eBay it's going for around $160. This set was hyped up by a lot of investors. It has a lot of really great unique minifigures, iconic build. I do still see this set performing really well in the long term. I think it'll turn out to be one of those slow burn sets that continually increases in price year over year as the supply runs out. I just expected this set to have a larger bump initially due to the way it retired. It sold out before the end of the year. There weren't really any major sales on this set. I don't think I could have gotten it for much more than 20% off on a consistent basis. So for my expectation, I am let down a little bit, but I do think in the long term this set will do very well. The third set is Carnage, set number 76199. It had an MSRP of $60, and on eBay it's going for around $88. This set was a Target exclusive, and this set felt like another one that would have a nice bump after retirement. It went out under the radar. Similarly to Sesame Street, the set sold out without any major sales. The largest discount I remember was at the end of 2021. It was discounted to 30% off from Target, but all of 2022 maybe was discounted 20% off a couple times, but nothing more than that. And it sold out before the end of the year without any major sales from Target during Black Friday or that time of year. It has appreciated in price fairly well. It's 50% over the MSRP, which really isn't bad. Just my expectation was a little bit higher. And I do think this set has a really good potential long term because Venom is retiring at the end of this year, and LEGO just released a Spider-Man bust that's going to release next year. So the continued collectability with this Carnage bust is going to go very well with the Spider-Man one that'll be on the shelves for at least 1 to 2 more years. On top of that, the third Venom movie is supposed to come out around November of next year, and it will feature Carnage heavily. So I expect a very large jump in value around that time frame. Next up, Bro Thor's New Asgard, set number 76200, had an MSRP of $30, and right now on eBay it's only going for around $35. This was also a Target exclusive, another set talked about by a lot of investors. It was a very detailed set, and it had the exclusive Bro Thor minifigure. I think the set had a lot of potential, but unfortunately, Target kept it in stock until early summer. Lego must have sent them a very large shipment before it retired, and it was available from Target.com with a limit of 1 for a very long time, which caused it to have a very delayed appreciation in value in the aftermarket. I've been tracking this set somewhat closely on eBay for the past several months, and while it was still available from Target early this year, it was going for around $40 on eBay. Now it's dipped down to $35. I think a lot of investors have given up on this set and are just liquidating their inventory. I've also lost hope on this set. Unfortunately, I have 17 of this set that I got from Target for $20 at the end of last year. I will be letting go of these sets for a minimal profit and reinvesting that money into something else that will make me more money over time. Attack on the Burrow, set number 75980, MSRP of $100, and right now on eBay it's going for $135. Again, honestly not that bad appreciation for 11 months, but I just expected more. It's a very good looking set, a Target exclusive as well, just like the past several, has great exclusive figures, and it was only discounted to 20% off from Target.com, never more than that. As long as Lego doesn't remake another smaller scale Attack on the Burrow, I think this set will continue to appreciate slowly in retirement. I think it could hit 200 maybe 2 years from now. So with this last string of Target exclusive sets that I just talked about, you need to keep in mind that just because a set is a Target exclusive doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be a great investment. It's all about your buy-in price. Next up is Tokyo, set number 21051. It has an MSRP of $60, and right now on eBay it's going for around $80. I'm not surprised at the lack of movement on this set. I have not been a fan of the architecture theme recently. The whole theme has been declining in popularity ever since Lego has been making more and more adult themed sets. You could have easily gotten it for 20% off and 30% off here and there. At 30% off, it's not too bad of a profit, but there are many other sets that you could have purchased that would have made you more money in the same amount of time. Overlord Dragon, set number 71742. It had an MSRP of $30, and on eBay it's going for around $36. Another set that had a ton of potential. It's a Ninjago Dragon. It was hard to find for most of its life. There was a lot of supply chain issues for this set, so it was unavailable for months on end. But at the end of the year, Lego included this set in their Walmart exclusive multi-pack they put out at the end of every year, and it was available for 50% off. Fortunately for myself, I was able to find a lot of these multi-packs on in-store clearance from Walmart for 75% off. So at that buy-in price, it's doing very well for investing, but anyone who purchased it at around 20% off are very disappointed with how this set is performing. The third to last set I'm going to discuss is the 1989 Batwing, set number 76161. It had an MSRP of $200, and on eBay it's going for around $250. A lot of people saw the success that the $200 1989 Batmobile had when it retired in 2021 and expected this set to perform similarly. The Batmobile is sitting at around $500 on eBay, but this set is definitely not going to reach that price a year from now. This set was rarely discounted. You couldn't have gotten it for more than 20% off very easily. I think the reason this is happening is because people saw the success the 1989 Batmobile had and thought that this Batwing would have similar success. The only difference is the Batmobile didn't have nearly as many investors investing in it because they saw how poorly the Batman Tumbler that retired in 2015 did. It did very poorly, so they expected another larger Batman vehicle to do poorly, so there were less investors and the demand ended up overwhelming the supply. Fast forward to the end of 2021, people are looking at the Batmobile's success and thinking the Batwing will do the same, so there are a lot more investors investing in that set, but there wasn't enough demand to compensate for the extra supply. That wasn't the case for the Batmobile. Batmobile Scarecrow Showdown, set number 76239. It had an MSRP of $40, and on eBay it's going for around $55. Another set with a fair amount of hype, short shelf life, very good build, 2 exclusive figures, and it's honestly performing just fine. I think my expectations were just unrealistic for this set. The demand for superhero sets just isn't what it used to be, and I have to remind myself of that. I bought 10 of this set for around 30% off. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten it for around 40% off, maybe a little bit more to fit in my investing strategy. If you're interested in knowing my investing strategy, my goal is to buy sets at a cheap enough price to be able to sell them a year to a year and a half after retirement for double my money after shipping and fees. So when looking at it through that lens, this set is not performing how I'd like it to be if I only bought it at 30% off. Alright, the last set I want to cover is the McLaren Elva, set number 76902. MSRP of $20, and on eBay it's only going for $25. Another set that I'm not surprised about, similarly to architecture, Speed Champions are not the extremely profitable theme they once were. The whole theme is very hoarded and the demand has not caught up to the supply on these sets. I think in general, over the whole theme, there is still good profit to be made if you're a very long-term investor. Maybe 5 years after retirement for the Speed Champions theme would be a good hold time for these sets to make double or maybe triple your money. But for me, this whole theme, I would need to get very, very, very significant discounts to invest in it and be able to double my money after a year to a year and a half. That's about it. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, definitely drop a like below. It helps out my channel a ton. Let me know down below in the comments if you bought any of these sets for investing, or if you just have any questions about Lego investing in general. And lastly, if you want to see more Lego investing content like this, definitely subscribe. I put out videos every Monday and Thursday. With that, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, my videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my journey as a Lego investor, and I encourage you to do your own research before buying any Lego sets.